Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
This time, we're tackling something I know a lot of you have been asking about. That nagging shoulder pain that just loves to spread to your back.
Oh, I know that one well. It's like it can't make up its mind where it hurts the most.
Right. So we're going to unpack this from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, or TCM for those in the know, and get into some seriously practical acupressure points you can actually use for relief.
And I'm excited to break it all down, go a little beyond the typical advice you hear.
Love it. So to set the stage, we're not talking about just any shoulder pain here. It's that specific kind that radiates.
Yeah.
You know, it starts in your shoulder, but then that tightness, that ache, it creeps into your upper back and suddenly feels like your whole upper body is one giant knot.
Exactly. It's like this radiating discomfort that just takes over. And in TCM, we often see this as a disruption of qi. That's your vital energy, right? Flowing through certain channels, especially the gallbladder, triple energizer, and even the large intestine channels.
Wait, hold on. Did you just say the large intestine channel?
I did.
Now, I'm really interested. How does my digestive system play a role in my shoulder feeling like it's about to fall off?
Right. It sounds a little out there at first, I know, but that's what makes TCM so cool. It's all about how everything in the body is connected. These energy channels or meridians, they don't just stay in one tiny area. They're like these pathways that weave through your entire system.
So if one channel gets a little backed up, it can throw things off in a totally different part of the body, like a domino effect?
That's exactly a domino effect. And there are a few things that can cause these energy traffic jams, so to speak. Of course, you've got the usual suspects like muscle tension from, overdoing it at the gym or maybe just sitting at a desk all day.
Yeah, my posture could use some work, I'll admit.
But here's where it gets interesting. TCM also links this type of pain to emotional stress.
Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Mm.
Are you saying my tendency to, shall we say, intensely focus on deadlines could be contributing to my back feeling like a rusty old hinge?
Well, I can't say for sure without knowing more, but it's definitely a possibility. See, in TCM, we believe that pent-up emotions, particularly things like stress and anger, can actually disrupt that smooth flow of qi. It's like imagine when you bottle up stress. Your body, in a way, starts to mirror that by holding tension, restricting that energy flow. And over time, that can lead to blockages and eventually, you guessed it, pain.
Wow. So we're not just talking about treating the achy shoulder here. We're talking about getting to the root of what's causing it, which might be more about my mental state than, like, my sleep position.
Exactly. It's about seeing the whole picture, right? And that's where acupressure comes in. Think of it as this amazing way to manually release those energy blocks and get things flowing smoothly again.
Okay, you've definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this acupressure magic. We're going to get specific today, right? Like,
Right.
what points can actually help?
Absolutely. The research we're diving into today actually pinpoints 11 acupressure points that are especially good for this kind of radiating shoulder pain.
11. Okay, that sounds comprehensive.
It is. It covers points along the triple energizer meridian, like TE3, TE4, and TE5, which are all about, you guessed it, regulating that energy flow. And then there are points along the large intestine meridian, such as LI2, LI11, and LI15.
Ah, right, the digestive system connection again. I'm starting to see how it all ties together. So those are just a few. Let's break down some of the most, I guess, interesting ones from the list.
Sure.
I'm super curious about LI15, especially because it's right there on the shoulder, isn't it? Like right in the bullseye for this kind of pain.
You got it. LI15, also known as Jianyu in TCM, that's a key point for direct shoulder pain relief. You can find it in that little depression right at the front of your shoulder joint, kind of if you imagine a line running straight down from that bony bump at the top of your shoulder. LI15 sits right on that line.
Makes sense. Target the source, right? But here's where it gets really interesting to me. GB38. Now, this one's on the leg, if I'm not mistaken. So how on earth can pressing a point on my leg possibly help with shoulder pain?
Such a good question. It seems counterintuitive, right? But GB38, or Yang Fu, it's all about tackling deep muscle tension, especially in the gallbladder channel, which, as we know, runs right through the shoulder and back. This point, you'll find it about 4-finger widths above your outer ankle bone, slightly towards the front of your leg. And stimulating it is almost like releasing a vice grip on those tight, overworked shoulder and back muscles.
Like a remote control for your muscles.
Exactly.
Okay, my mind is a little blown right now. Okay, one more that really caught my eye, SI12. The research specifically calls this one out as being super helpful for that pain that radiates to the back from the shoulder, which, let's face it, is what we're all about today. So tell me more.
Okay, so SI12, otherwise known as Bing Feng, it's all about targeting that radiating pain pathway. This one, you're going to find it on your back, right in that hollow area just above your shoulder blade, close to your spine. And this point is amazing for releasing stiffness and tightness in those muscles that connect your shoulder to your back, which are often the main culprits behind that radiating ache.
So we've got points on the hand, the leg, the back.
Yeah.
And they're all interconnected, all playing a role in this one specific type of pain.
It all goes back to that beautiful web of connections that TCM emphasizes, right? It's not just about isolated parts, but about the body as this amazing interconnected whole, a network of energy flowing through these intricate pathways.
That's incredible. So to make sure our listeners can actually find these points and, start experiencing the benefits, let's dive into their locations and what they do in a bit more detail.
Let's do it. Let's get back into those 11 pressure points and give everyone a clearer roadmap.
This is where it gets good, everyone. Stay tuned as we unlock the power of these points. All right, so we've got these 11, magical pressure points to explore. Where do we even begin?
Well, we just talked about SI12, that point on the back for radiating pain. But, you won't always see that one on those, beginner acupressure charts because, honestly, it can be a little tricky to reach on your own.
Yeah, I was just picturing myself trying to, twist myself into a pretzel to get to that one.
Yeah.
Not exactly my idea of a relaxing way to relieve tension.
Right. Exactly. So this is definitely a point where having a friend lend a hand, literally, or seeing a qualified acupuncturist can be super helpful. But don't worry, there are plenty of other points that are much easier to access on your own.
Okay, good to know. Speaking of easily accessible, let's go back to TE3, that one you mentioned that's between the fingers. I feel like I could reach that one right now, even with my eyes closed.
Exactly. TE3, or as it's known in TCM, Zhongzhu, it's super easy to find. It's right there on the back of your hand, in that little dip between your fourth and fifth finger, so your ring finger and your pinky finger, basically. If you spread those fingers apart and just kind of run your thumb up from your knuckles, you'll feel this soft spot just before the bones connect to your wrist. That's the sweet spot.
Okay, I'm already feeling like a slight release just thinking about it.
It's a powerful point, and here's what's really cool about it. In TCM, we don't just use TE3 for shoulder pain. It's also considered a really helpful point for headaches, neck stiffness, and even, wait for it,
Oh,
this.
Whoa, hold on. Tinnitus, as in that ringing in the ears. We're going from shoulder pain to ear issues now. That's quite the leap.
I know, right? But that's the beauty of TCM. Remember those energy channels we were talking about earlier? How they flow throughout the entire body? Well, the triple energizer meridian, which is where TE3 is located, it starts at your fingertips, and then it goes all the way up your arm, across your shoulders, and believe it or not, it actually reaches all the way to your head. So by stimulating TE3, you're potentially influencing this whole cascade of energy flow throughout your system.
Okay, so it's like a ripple effect.
Exactly, a ripple effect.
Okay, this is seriously making me rethink everything I thought I knew about pain relief. All right, give me another point, and it's superpowers.
All right, how about Li2 or Ergion? This point is all about reducing inflammation and pain. You'll find this one on the side of your index finger, right below the knuckle.
Got it. Right where I always seem to get a paper cut from opening those darn bills.
Exactly. Now, La2 is great for acute pain, really anywhere in the body, but it's especially helpful for anything going on in the head and face. So we're talking like toothaches, jaw pain, even fevers.
No way. Okay, this is incredible. We've got 1 point for shoulder pain that might also help with, tinnitus, another one that could help with the toothache. This is like a whole body toolkit.
It really is. It all comes down to understanding the pathways and connections within your system. Let's do one more. Ki6 or Zhaohai. This point is the queen or king of calming the mind and promoting relaxation, which, let's be real, is something we could all use a little more of these days. Am I right?
Oh, preach. Where is this magical relaxation button, and how do I get it to work on me 24/7?
So you can find Ki6 on your inner ankle right below that bony bump that you can feel there. And it's known for being super helpful with insomnia and quieting those racing thoughts that keep you up at night. But it's also incredibly grounding, which can be amazing for managing pain.
Grounding. You mean like bringing me back down to earth when my shoulder pain is making me see stars?
Exactly. See, K6 isn't just about relaxation, it's about shifting your body's entire response to pain. When you stimulate this point, you're tapping into the kidney meridian, which in TCM is deeply connected to your energy reserves and your ability to handle stress. It's like hitting the reset button on your nervous system. And when you're in less pain, you naturally feel more relaxed, more able to cope.
Wow, that makes so much sense. This is making me realize how much I've been like neglecting my own self-care lately, physically and mentally.
And that's a huge part of what TCM is all about, really taking an active role in your own well-being. It's not just about addressing those symptoms when they pop up, but actually understanding what's causing them in the first place, and then learning how to cultivate that sense of balance within yourself.
It's been amazing. Such an eye-opening deep dive into TCM and acupressure. We went from like really understanding the root causes of this kind of shoulder pain
Yeah.
to exploring how connected everything is in the body. And then we got into the specifics of these like powerhouse acupressure points.
And we even learned how to find them on our own bodies.
Exactly. So as we wrap up here, I want to leave you with one final, I guess, thought-provoking question. We spent a lot of time talking about the physical stuff.
Yeah.
But if TCM teaches us anything, it's that the mind and body, they're inseparable, right?
Absolutely.
So here's my question for you. Could exploring your emotional well-being be just as important as those physical treatments when it comes to really addressing your shoulder pain? Something to think about.
It's all connected. Pay attention to your body. Remember that healing happens on multiple levels.
It really does. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of shoulder pain and TCM. We hope you learned a ton and, more importantly, that you feel inspired to really prioritize your well-being.
Yes. Up
Thanks
till
a lot.
next time.
Take care.